around.
Senior citizens in Namwala district recall the works Nkumbula along with his partner Dr. Kenneth Kaunda did right before independence.
Nje kumbele Kaunda olagaga. Ngulu agape pyongani na olusumpuko kwamba tukweze olusumpuko lukando.
Kwamba kola kutukwa washintu shaka kusebe lubono akoto yani ko benefit na luyo ho kitu hiba se kwamba wezo mudala weso ali mwanga Nkumbula wakasebeza.
Chief Mungaila appreciates government's move to honor the national hero from his chiefdom by naming important areas in the country like the Harry Mwanga Nkumbula International Airport in Livingstone.
Kuku muheri uachishi uhela chishi chonse cha Zambia kwa kayalwa Nkumbula kwa ikido Nkumbula buli muhiwa Nkumbula.
Southern Province is the only province in the country that houses the highest number of heritage sites and has since time immemorial remained the hub of tourism in Zambia, whereas the tourism sector shifted completely the country's reliance on copper as a main source of revenue. Richard MBEWE, who is the Senior Conservation Officer at the National Heritage Conservation Commission, shares the stories behind these historical sites.
Livingstone has the highest number of historic buildings in this country. There is no other town that has this thing. So we stand a better chance to preserve this milestone that we have as a town and as a district, because we know that we boast of most of the ancient stuff that we have here. Today, there are other sites that people visit. As we celebrate the 50 years of Zambia's independence, we are able to look back where we came from, because we have played our part as national heritage to make sure that the people that were not there will still be able to see what was there.
Provision of quality health services for a healthy nation remains at the top of the country's socio-economic agenda. And the Salvation Army Church, with its mission hospital in Chikankata, has since time immemorial contributed to the development of the health sector. The mission hospital, which started its operations at Ibwemunyama in 1945 before moving to its current location, Chikankata, boasts of establishing the first ever nursing school in Zambia with an initial enrollment of 6 students.
At Ibwemunyama, there was a hospital. There was a school, so there was a training for carpentry. Those things were there. So when we shifted from there, we shifted with everything. We abandoned that place.
And this marks the oldest nursing training institution in the country. It's in the history of nursing in the country. The school started its operations in training medical assistants and nursing aides at the time. In 1952, they improved or upgraded to train enrolled nurses. And the following years, about 1956, the enrolled midwifery program was introduced.
One of the institution's former student and employee, who is now Chieftainess Mwenda, recalls the operations of the hospital and how instrumental it was in providing health services to the national heroes.
Chagali jibadela jimwi chagali bisi jibadela jimwi chaga siliga iba solo liba jisi ketaninga bola kubunesi ba president kaunda luwabo bagasiligwa kuno bagali kusola kutija kambo kakulwana kuyabulanga hibadela hili muminsi kuchita kutano chibadela nsi chikwahangu musilika chagali chipoto chibadela chikutali kusobana tawo.
The institution has significantly improved its operations over the years with massive government support.
We have seen a lot of support from our able government through the years that have realized actually the partnership, the importance of partnership that we share with the church in production of these critical human resource.
Coming to the partnership with the support from the government,
It has increased over the past 50 years as we're celebrating our Golden Jubilee of Independence anniversary. As I mentioned, that most of the cadres in the higher areas, that is the medical doctors, the clinical officers, the nurses, the support staff, the laboratory, x-ray, and so forth, all these are civil servants. In other words, they are 100% supported in terms of salary by the government. The church does supplement in terms of lower cadre at the lower level.
As Zambia celebrates its 50 years of independence, Southern Province is proud to celebrate 50 years of holding on to its reputation of being the hub of agriculture development and high production of livestock, particularly cattle. It also had state farms that have since declined.
Kaunda's wisdom can be matched by very few people in Africa, other than Mandela, and quite a few Julius Nyerere. They are a group that was a team of nationalists. You can't be haphazard in reorganizing a country which has been dominated by whites. So in order to spread the wings, Kaunda had to create state farms. State farms were created under rural development scheme. State ranches were created where people benefited by the supply of modern animals.
The government also was taking over the farms, and the companies like Zambia Cattle Development started getting some of these farms. They become state farms.
Since 1964, Southern Province has recorded various developments, including the improvement of roads, schools, markets, and hospitals. Choma District, as the provincial capital for Southern Province, is also receiving a facelift, including the construction of the provincial administration block, township roads, and housing for civil servants.
So far, we've made progress on the construction of the office block for the provincial administration. 3 contractors on site, the ones that are working on the office block, have progressed. The contractor on the office block, so far, I think he has gone up to the one side of the building to the 4th floor, and the other side almost to the 2nd. And the one constructing the VIP houses has progressed so much that I think they are just final touches on the fittings, and the third contractor contracted to build the medium cost houses for senior staff.
The contribution of Southern Province to the development of Zambia cannot be overemphasized. It is hoped that the present and future generations of this country shall remain focused and foster the province's contribution for another 50 years to come.
Pagalilela.